Hi guys, my name is Vikram and I'm going to explain you what is prisoner dilemma in the game theory today. So what is prisoner dilemma, and let's understand the basics of the game theory of prisoner dilemma. Now in the game theory, so we have got prisoners. So let's say we have got prisoner A and then we have got prisoner B. So in game theory, they are also known as players. Okay, so if you come across the term players, so they are nothing but the participant in the game theory. Okay, so let's say if there are two prisoners or the two players A and B, and both got arrested, okay, for committing a crime. So let's see, let's just put that into a table. Okay, so now this is for A and this is for B. Okay, now this is for confess, this is for non-confess, this is for confess for B, and this is non-confess again. All right, so let's say now let me just erase this to avoid any confusion. All right, so now I believe there's no confusion. So okay, so confess, non-confess, confess, non-confess, A and B. So both are prisoners or both are players in the game theory. Okay, now we will discuss something about the the outcome or the payoff. Okay, now let's say okay, so now if someone commits a crime and when the police investigate, there are two possibilities: either they will confess or either they will not confess. So let's understand, if A confess, so he will get jailed for just 10 years, and same goes for player B as well. Yes, so if A confess or B confess, both gets jailed for 10 years each. Okay, now let's say if police ask A that if he confess, they can set him free, and B will get jailed. So if that happens, it will become 0 15. So 0 for A because he will be set free by the police, and 15 years jail for B. But if the same thing happens with B, let's say if the police says we will set you free, so it will be 15 years for A and 0 years for B, as B will set free. And also there will be a situation when both the players, they will deny or they will not they will not confess the crime. So in that case, both the players or both the prisoners will get 1 or 2 years each. This is just a hypothetical example, so we will take 2 just an hypothetical example. So if both the parties confess, so both will get 10 years each as jail. And if both the party doesn't confess at all, both the parties, so it will be 2 years each. And if one party admit against if the one party confess, only one party, so he will get free, and he will the other party will get jail, and vice versa. So this is just the so this is the tabular form of the information which we of A and B. Okay, so now there are few basic concept terminology which you may want to know in the game theory. So the first one is non-cooperative. Okay, so now prisoner dilemma is a good example of a non-cooperative a non-cooperative. Now what is non-cooperative? So non-cooperative is a situation when party A or party B are unaware of each other, what the other person is doing. So in this case, A and B both doesn't know about what the other person is doing, because obviously both are being interrogated simultaneously at the same time, so both doesn't know. So this is an example of non-cooperative. Now if this is non-cooperative, so the opposite, which is cooperative. So cooperative is something is when the parties or the players knows what the other person is doing or and doing. All right, so this is cooperative. Now what our second term, the second term is all right, so the second term is static game. Uh, Now what is static game? Okay, so static game is also known as simultaneous game. All right, okay, so any game which is happening simultaneously. Uh, so again, Prisoner's Dilemma is a good example of a static game or simultaneous game. Why? Because both the players or both the prisoners are being interrogated or investigated simultaneously at the same time, so that is static game. Now when we talk about static game, so you will also come across something called the dynamic game. So dynamic game is quite the opposite. So dynamic game is when it's any activities or any event which is not happening simultaneously. So the above example in the Prisoner's Dilemma is an example of static game and not a dynamic game. Pure strategy. Now what is pure strategy? So in this example, if you see, so if A confess, he will get jailed, and if B confess, he will get jailed. Both of them are getting jailed if both the players are confessing. In second example, if A is confessing, so he will set free, but B will get jailed for 15 years. And if B confess, so he will set free, but A will get jailed for 15 years. But here, if both the parties are not cooperating or not confessing, so both will get only 2 years each as a jail. But then this is not practical, because if we see it in the real life, this is the ideal situation, because this is only possible if A knows that B will not confess at any cost, and B knows that A will not confess. So this is very this is not that practical. So that's the reason this is not practical at all. And this too also not practical, because no one gets set free without any penalty. So this is again not practical. But if we see this one, so confessing the crime and getting jailed for 10 years each is the best suitable the outcome. So this is an example of pure strategy, because this is very practical and very logical. Now in game theory, you will I think the most popular term or the most common term you will hear is Nash equilibrium. So the Nash equilibrium is named after a famous mathematician, John Nash, okay, who gave this theory. So in Nash equilibrium is in game theory is when both the party gets the equal or the best outcome. Okay, so in this case again, confessing is the Nash equilibrium point, because both the parties are confessing and getting the this is the best outcome for both the players. So the next is dominate strategy. So dominate, the name itself tells that it's dominant. So that means a strategy where the payoff or players are dominating in terms of their action. So in this case, okay, so this is not an example of dominant strategy, because it's 0 and 15. This is also is not example of a dominant strategy which is 15 and 0, because but then if you talk about 10 on 10, this is a good example of dominant strategy, because both the parties are getting the best this outcome in this case. All right, so this is an example of dominant strategy.